brought you to this project? What was your life like 7 years ago?
Well, my life 7 years ago changed drastically because we moved from London with my husband Victor to Portugal. And we decided already that we're not going to move to the big city. So we never actually lived in Lisbon or Porto or any other city. So we came to live more or less in the countryside in beautiful Ericeira, and we started being very, very connected with grassroots initiatives all over Portugal with many communities. And some of my first projects were in the countryside, in the forest actually. So I never worked with ecology, never worked with forest before. And what happened is 2017 was year of truly devastating fires in Portugal. And we were invited to this meeting Reflorestar Portugal, so Reforest Portugal. It's a grassroots initiative, and I met a lot of people there who were trying to find kind of a different solution to eucalyptus plantations that are very widespread in Portugal. And I thought, okay, I am new in this country, I'm an artist, I want to learn the language, what should I do? And my solution to that would be to go into the countryside, do an art residency after the fires in the area where communities suffered a lot from the fires, and basically make a film about it, and open up a whole perspective for myself. What can we do for forest ecology, and how can we do it through art and culture?
And how can we do it through art and culture?
How can we do it through art and culture? So, well, I had this 7 years evolution, kind of really thinking hard about this question. Of course, we can use all normal, let's say, traditional artistic methodologies like filmmaking, book writing, visual work, poetry, which I write, and could read you a poem today.
Yes, please.
Installation, performance work, immersive experiences, and so on. So that's like one layer, and I do pretty much all of them when they respond to the idea that I have, when I work in a very site-specific way with communities and with the ecosystems, with the forest that surround them. But then I thought to myself, what if the forest itself, the being of the forest, the complex being of the forest, could be also methodology for art?
Okay.
And what if we as artists could actually use it as a methodology? First, to think about it critically, to imagine. It could be our philosophy. It could be also a way of imagining how our society can shift.
Right.
And how we can get organized between ourselves. So very much like a complex, dynamic, structured in a very organic way DAO, let's say, where each part of the whole feeds the other part, and no part is more important than the other, and it's quite complex organism, and it's only growing in its complexity. So this is never ending, this exploration. This is fascinating. And so I started working and looking at the forest literally every day as methodology in the art. And then came the idea, slowly, after a couple of years of doing this exploration and research, what if an eternal forest sanctuary can become this place, the nature's temple, the place to learn plant communication, to learn listening to the land, to learn being with each other. Sitting under a tree in a different kind of relationship, learning contemplative practices, and really starting from myself, tuning in and being there, and starting to ask nature questions and start to receive answers. And what I can say from my very, very humble and small experiences, that nature wants to talk to us. Trees want to talk to us. They want to give us, they want to heal, they want to offer us something that we can receive from them in exchange of our attention, and nurturing them and giving them support and protection. And the older the place gets, the more experiences and meetings and gatherings and ceremonies we have in that place, the more powerful place becomes.
Charges up.
Exactly. And that's where I started remembering the whole concept and phenomena of sacred groves that we know exist all over the world. All Slavic different tribes have done them, they have them, they know where they are. Some people remember, some countries still remember them better than others, some practice. Certain parts of shamanic culture still have very much alive this tradition. There are sacred groves in India, in Africa, you name it. So that's kind of one of biggest reference points for me and one of the biggest inspirations to not only revive the culture of sacred groves and forests, but to explore what does it mean, the practice of sacred forests and sacred groves in our day and time.
What was it, the history of it, if you can fill in a little bit on what is that about, really? Is it a magical
that's
forest?
big.
It's like a forest, you go in and you are experiencing magic.
Yeah, that's a really big question. I would say